Hello everybody! Welcome to my Smash Bros. Ballot update video opinions thing. I don't know what to call this. I have been asked quite a lot over the past couple of months to make a video about the Smash Bros. Ballot, who I think will win, who I voted for, stuff like that. I've held off from making a video on it because I don't like making prediction videos because, well, I don't like being wrong. But enough people have asked me to do it, I figured I might as well. So I've got notes of a bunch of questions that I've been asked over the past couple of months. I'm going to go through them all, answer them to the best of my ability, and hopefully you guys will be satisfied. Alright, let's go. The question I get asked most is who did I vote for on the ballot? I'm not entirely sure what the rules are for voting on the ballot, if it's based on location or the IP address or the device you use or what. But most people seem to think it's the IP address, so that's what I've gone with. As such, I have voted for 5 different characters: Rayman, Sceptile, Ridley, Banjo-Kazooie, and Quote. Rayman, Sceptile, and Ridley because those are my favorite characters that haven't been in the game yet, so obviously I want them in. I voted for Banjo-Kazooie because I have always seen those two as a pipe dream that could never happen. But recent events have taught me that they could actually happen, so I decided to vote for them. And lastly, I picked Quote, for reasons I will explain later in this video. Another question I get asked a lot is who do I think will win the ballot? I'm honestly not really sure. The Smash Ballot is more of a suggestion box than a poll. We've never been told that the winner of the ballot will automatically get into the game. It's more of that it's a suggestion box that they'll use to determine who they might add into the game. As for who I think will actually get in, I'm positive on Wolf, not so much anybody else. There are a few characters that I think have a good shot, but there are none that I'm dead certain on. Kind of relating to that, I've been asked a lot on what my opinions are of specific online polls. I do not think online polls are trustworthy in the slightest. They draw from a very limited sample size, and as such are impossible to know if they are accurate or not. You can see that just by looking at some polls. On some of them, K. will be at the top, others Shantae will be, others Isaac or Bandandi or whoever. It's not accurate. This is a good question. How many characters do I think we will get? I think we will get a minimum of 3 more characters, because there are 3 more placeholder slots for characters in the 3DS data. I personally think we will get at least 4 more, because 2 of those slots were added back when Mewtwo was added into the game, which means they've been planning on those characters for quite a while. I think the slot that was added recently was the first ballot character they started working on, and I think we'll get at least 1 more. As for a maximum of how many characters we will get, I honestly don't know. They can keep adding characters as long as they want to. There's no real limits for how many we can get. They'll just keep making characters until they stop. What is my opinion of Mii costumes? I've answered this in the past, but I will repeat it again. I don't think Mii costumes disconfirm characters in the slightest. I do think, however, costumes will be added into the game instead of the characters. Like, I don't think they automatically disconfirm the characters, but I think they might be added in instead of the characters as a consolation prize or something. As such, a costume might disconfirm a character, but we don't know if that's the case just yet. Because another thing that I think the costumes might be used as are as a marketing ploy to kind of determine how much interest there is in the character. Like, they may have added the K. costume in order to determine how many people want him in the game. If a lot of people buy that costume, they might make the character as well to get more money off of the character. The rest of the questions I've been asked are just my opinions on certain characters, so I'm just going to go down this list and briefly tell what my thoughts are on each one. Shantae. Personally, if I had to pick an indie character, Shantae would be at the bottom of the list. I'm not terribly fond of her design, and I'm not really fond of her character either. Shovel Knight. I would love Shovel Knight to get into the game. He's such a cool character, I loved his game, I want him to do well in the future, and I think Smash Bros. Would be a good way of guaranteeing that success. But before either Shantae or Shovel Knight, I would want Quote. Out of all the indie characters, I think Quote would fit in the best, because he kind of, how do I put this, exemplifies what it means to be indie in my eyes. His game was made by one person without any intention of gaining money, just for the fun of it as a hobby. I love that story. I'd love Quote to make it into the game because I feel like he represents indie characters the best. King K. Rool. Like I said, I don't think Mii costumes disconfirm characters, and King K. Rool is the best example of that. I think he has a very good shot. If I had to list characters, I think he'd probably be the most likely at this point. Besides Wolf. I think Wolf is pretty much guaranteed. Ridley. I think he still has a shot, as much as pretty much any character is still technically possible. It's not gonna happen. Possible, but probably not gonna happen. As such, I don't think we'll get any other Metroid characters either. I've always believed it's Ridley or bust for other Metroid characters. I think Sakurai thinks that as well, which is why we've only got incarnations of Samus into the game so far. Inklings. I'm kind of neutral on Inklings. I don't really have any interest in them, but I wouldn't complain if they were added. But I think they're more likely to be added in the next Smash game, whenever that comes out. Banjo and Kazooie. I personally think that people put way too much stock in how hard it would be to get the rights for Banjo from Microsoft. I liken it to the situation with Marvel and Spider-Man. People would always say that it's completely impossible for Spider-Man to be in a Marvel movie, because Sony owns the rights to him, and they'd never work together, because they're rivals, right? Well, surprise, surprise. Snake. I have no idea how good his chances are, or other Konami characters for that matter. Konami has been kind of just been giving the middle finger to their fan base. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers, it depends on what they do with them. I feel like they could add them into the game if they kind of tweak their gimmick so that it isn't as taxing for the 3DS to handle. But at the same time, I don't think Sakurai would do that. It's just... I don't know. This is another character I just have no idea. I'm not part of the Smash development team. I'm not going to pretend that I know how hard it would be to get them to work. So, I don't know. Veteran characters like Pichu, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Young Link, I think people underestimate their chances. They'd be a lot easier to add than other characters. So I could definitely see Sakurai trying to get one of them into the game. Like if we got another update like Ryu, Roy, and Lucas, they might add in Wolf, a newcomer, and Pichu, because that's kind of the same situation. I think they're possible. People would get mad, but I doubt Sakurai really cares. We'll see. I personally love for Pichu to come back. I love Pichu so much. And lastly, Rayman. I am so happy with how well Rayman is doing. I think the fake leak really boosted his chances. Ubisoft wants him in. I'm cautiously hopeful. I'll leave it at that. And that's all the questions I have. I'm sorry it took so long to make this video. I really should have done this like a month or two ago. I instead waited for the ballot to end tomorrow. But better than late than never. I hope you guys are happy with this video. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, or if I missed a character that you want to know about, just ask them in the comments. I'll answer them, I promise. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're all enjoying life, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!